My biggest challenge is not knowing how to start a conversation and or what to say during conversation. Hi, my name's Deepak Shukla from Ethnic Dating, and today this was the question that I got asked in my email as to, a challenge that Rich is facing at the moment. He didn't actually leave his name, but I'm going to call him Rich. So Rich, I really want to talk to you about this challenge that you're experiencing about how to start a conversation and, what to say during a conversation. So it's, first of all, something that I'll say that I empathize and understand with. I definitely had a lot of nervousness, growing up, and I would say all kinds of stupid stuff when I was trying to, engage with the woman that I found attractive. I'll always remember Tracy Woodley. I don't know if she'll ever end up watching this video, but certainly friends of mine, Tom Perryman and Kai Cole, know about Tracy being the girl that walked home the same way that I did down Royal Lane, which is a street upon which is Bishop's Holt School. And Tracy and I would walk the same way home, just coincidentally, not because we wanted to walk together or anything as such, but we'd often be kind of the last ones left on the path because she lived quite far down and then I lived kind of the furthest, certainly amongst people that were in the same year. And Tracy was a girl that, I did find pretty and attractive, and I quickly amongst my friends developed a reputation for asking questions because I didn't know what to say. So I would fill that gap, fill my nervousness by asking a question as well. And that was something that led me to sometimes asking kind of stupid questions. Certainly my friends would laugh when they'd be like, "Oh, so Deepak, so apparently you're asking, so what, do you have a garden?" "Yes." "Oh, so how big is your garden?" "What, in square feet or in inches?" "Oh, okay, are you washing the dishes?" "Oh, what dishwashing liquid are you using?" And they would make fun of me to this extent, and I laugh about it now, but it was something that led to a lot of nervousness and awkwardness growing up. And what I want to really communicate with a story such as that is that starting a conversation when you're nervous is hard. It's hard, and don't expect to that extent perfection. Let go of the outcome of what's going to happen with a conversation like that, because it's a little bit like going to the gym and, expecting to be able to maybe bench press 100 kilos, or going out for a run and expecting to be able to run 5 kilometers if you've never done it before, or looking at like algebra and expecting to understand it when you're still really getting comfortable with multiplication and division. So there's kind of leaps to a lot of these kind of processes, and a lot of people will say to you that, just go and start, and there's kind of tricks and tools and tactics, and all of that of course does make sense. But I want you also, Rich, to let go of the outcome, because it's not going to go perfectly for you the first time, right? It's not going to go kind of as planned. Certainly, with Tracy, I was a little bit awkward with conversation. I would ask a lot more questions than I kind of answered. And, when you start a conversation, the reality is that a lot of it depends upon the context, and you can take something from the context to really then start, a conversation. So that's kind of, if we're looking at some of the functional components of what you could do, number one is contextual conversation. So right now I'm recording this with my Costa coffee, and I'm actually in I'm in a Tesco's, which is a supermarket in the UK. I'm in a Tesco's superstore recording this about, dating advice. And I would, in this instance, if there was perhaps, a kind of, lady sat there, and she was perhaps drinking a coffee by herself, I'd perhaps, and again, this is, a lot of it depends upon the context. Is she drinking a coffee? Is she drinking, so for example, if she was drinking this, then I'd say, I also am a big fan of cups on the go. I find that they just stay hotter longer in here, as an example, because coffee in these cups, in these takeaway cups, do tend to stay hotter longer. If she was drinking in a teacup, I would say, don't you find that it gets colder faster in those teacups? So you could use anything that they're drinking as an in that instance as, an example of an opener to begin starting a conversation. So contextual conversation is really a great way into starting these conversations. The third thing that you could maybe do is, as I just identified to you, I'm in Tesco's, and it's a superstore, right? A supermarket. You could also make light of the fact that, so you two enjoy sitting here whilst someone's shopping, or sitting here and getting Costa from, a supermarket, or, I enjoy staying here because the Wi-Fi is good, which it is good, right? So these are just a couple of examples of what you could do in the instance of where I am. And I've just thought about these out loud, okay? So take note of your environment, and as a practical second step, right? Contextual conversation, practice, training your brain to be aware of these opportunities the next time that you're going out. So you don't necessarily have to start with talking with someone, but if you're in a bar, you can think about, well, what are the notable features of the bar? What time of day am I in? What time of day is it in the bar that I'm in? What is that person doing? What would I say to that lady? What would I say to that guy? What would I say to kind of anybody to practice starting a conversation? And the beautiful thing is that you can practice what to say during a conversation with someone in a lot safer context. So what I mean by that is, it's very hard to, of course, start a conversation with, a pretty lady or anyone that you feel some level of attraction to, right? But it's probably easier to start a conversation with a man sitting next to you, because you feel less of a sense of fear, or, a barman or a barmaid, or, a cashier at a checkout. So with all of those elements in mind, the part that becomes important there is that you can practice what to say during the conversation in those safe environments. So think about the contextual examples of conversation that you could start. Practice contextual conversation in your head when you're looking at these opportunities, so you can begin to become more aware. And then the third component of it is that you can begin actually practicing with people that aren't, your ideal date or the ideal lady. So for when that time comes and she's like over here or over there, then you have at least some inkling as to what to say. I really hope that helps, Rich. This is Deepak Shukla from Ethnic Dating. Thank you so much.